Wildcard weekend is here. The reality is, if it wasn't, the seasons of Collingwood and Carlton would officially be over after finishing 9th and 10th respectively. It's been said many times this year that the wildcard positions of 9th and 10th will be just making up the numbers. But does that apply to Carlton? The Blues have beaten Fremantle. They have beaten Brisbane. They have beaten some of the top teams this year. And in fact, since round 10, no team has been better than the Blues. Not Fremantle, not Brisbane, not Geelong. Since round 10 and Josh Fraser took the helm, Carlton have been the best team in the competition. We want to hear from you right off the top. 133 693. Do you think any of the wildcard participants, Melbourne, Bulldogs, Collingwood, and particularly Carlton, can have an impact this final series? And are you now a convert to the wildcard series? 133 693. I must admit, being at Melbourne and the Bulldogs yesterday, there was clearly something to play for each. Bulldogs were looking to avoid a trip to Adelaide. Melbourne were looking to avoid the wildcard rounds. Bulldogs prevail, and now they take on Collingwood in a weekend blockbuster.
Oh, the AFL's wrapped, aren't they? They probably would have been a little bit happier if Carlton and Collingwood lined up in that final, obviously, just for old time's sake. But yeah, it's played out well for the Carlton Footy Club, and, you know, they do deserve their chance. So I've been one that said, oh, you're going to have teams limping in that don't deserve it. Well, they do. I mean, they're the form team in the competition, along with Brisbane, who've won 10 out of 11.
They do now, though.
Yeah, I know.
No.
You still don't like it? I probably don't.
No,
either.
I still feel, and I can say this because the Bulldogs are 8th. So that's why I can say
We
this.
officially made it.
We officially made it.
But they're really interesting games now coming up. And Carlton, it's not like they're limping in. They are storming in. They're the best ball movement team in the competition since Josh Fraser
That may be
took
true,
over.
but this would have happened in other seasons where there would have been teams that stormed home but left their run too late.
Yeah, not fair.
fell short.
I'm just saying, like,
You've been the devil's advocate.
Yeah,
and I normally
I'm
am,
just-
but it's intriguing now.
it does mean we get some good games,
Yeah.
but there's been a lot of teams in the past who've had a good run towards the end and didn't play well early and missed out.
I don't think this weekend's an issue. It's beyond that,
Yeah.
you know, because obviously you finish 5th or 6th, which is, you know, obviously Geelong.
You get the week off.
You get the week off,
Yeah.
and they'll meet either Melbourne or Carlton, and that will be devilishly hard for either of those two teams to beat them.
I ask you the question, though. Is there any chance Carlton could keep this run going? I know history says you can't win from 7th or 8th position. I mean, Adelaide Crows have won from outside the top 4. So did the Bulldogs in 2016. But over the history of it, you can't do it.
Well,
but could Carlton win a couple?
You could, yeah, they could.
think they can.
You never say never that
I
they
think
could go
they
all the
can.
way, but you have to go back to 2016, our year, where the Dogs won 4 in a row, and that was pretty special.
So you
to
can't win 5 in a row?
No, not at this level. Not with the magnitude of toughness and tightness between the
And
top 6 or 7.
It looks like if Carlton did get on a run and they got through
It's a tough run.
to say a prelim, they'd have to go to the Gabba because you just think Brisbane will be too good for Sydney next week.
Let's remember this Carlton team. So take it from round 10 onwards when Josh Fraser took the helm. They have beaten Geelong. They have beaten Brisbane. They have beaten Fremantle.
They don't fear anyone.
No, which is...
I don't think they fear anyone, Carlton.
Which is incredible. I mean, do they have the pedigree there, Brad, in the fact that it is kicking together to potentially not only get past Melbourne, but get past a week 1 finalist and a semi-finalist?
Laura, I think it's fantastic what they've done. It's absolutely outstanding. But I'll put a rider on it. Life's about timing, and it's when you get those teams. You know, I mean, Fremantle beat Brisbane a little while back, and everybody said, oh, they're gone. They're done. Mate, that was 2 months ago. This is the extended season, and... yeah, it's not going to be good on them. Well done, fantastic, but it's going to be
I'm
tough.
getting carried away, and to win 5 in a row at this level would be really hard. But gee, there's just something compelling about them at the moment.
Let me put it out to our callers. 133 693. That $100 gift card for Harvey Norman to give away. Receive 10% in bonus gift cards with selected big brand cooking appliances at the moment at Harvey Norman. 133 693. Carlton fan or otherwise, do you believe Carlton, as a wild card entrant, finishing 10th on the ladder, can cause some upsets in this final series? So, again, Brad probably a little bit more hesitant, maybe Richo too optimistic. 133 693. Can Carlton do some damage? Because I suspect that they absolutely can.
I would not want to be Melbourne next week.
And I know what you're saying. It's a holistic approach, and yet they didn't win enough games early. But at this point, I was fearful that a team in 10th was going to have a worse win-loss than worse than 50%. But that hasn't proven to be the case. So it's worked this year. Is it going to be deserving in other years? maybe not. But the form they're in heading into next week, they've got Melbourne at a good time now.
They're not
well.
the team. I wouldn't want to play Carlton next week.
and-
As a Bulldogs supporter, I think Collingwood's the best possible outcome.
Oh, yeah.
But you look at it, they're just the timing of everything's working. Melbourne now don't have Jacob Van Rooyen,
Yep,
right?
for two more.
Jefferson went off. Will he get up? He's been a good player in the last couple of months. So all of a sudden, they'll be relying on Harrison Petty playing as well as he did yesterday. Now, to back that sort of form up, they still didn't win even when he did. And Tommy McDonald, who's retiring and has been a good player, but he's not peak Tom McDonald. They're getting them at a good time.
But we all know that coaches are the supreme optimists, and they'll be glass half full the whole way through. And you can't worry about who you haven't got. You've got to worry about what you have got. And Bevo's done that in recent weeks. And I'm sure Josh Fraser and I'm sure Stephen King and I'm sure McRae will all be promoting that the whole way. Because once you run out on the field, sometimes you run out with your best team on paper on the team and someone gets hurt really early in the game. Does it mean you can't win? Absolutely not. I mean, they all rely on their strategies and their processes and all that sort of stuff, the jargon that they rave on about.
Who are we all tipping then? Carlton and Melbourne?
Carlton.
Carlton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Melbourne can bounce back.
All right. There you go. What do Carlton fans think?
133-693. What do you think of the last Saturday in September for Carlton fans? Want to hear from you. 133-693. That $100 gift card, with thanks to Harvey Norman, to give away before 3 o'clock this afternoon. Are you excited for Wildcard Weekend? 133-693. Steve, good afternoon.
G'day, guys. Hey, one thing I don't think was anticipated with this these top 10 is that effectively you've got three layers, the top four, the next two, and the bottom four. And a couple of those teams could have gone up to the top four, stayed where they were, or dropped down. And then there was a play into the, as to between 7th and 10th and so on. I think it was really fantastic round with all the permutations.
Yeah,
It's still going too.
Yeah.
The Hawks need a massive win today. What is it, 90-odd points?
90 points plus they'd have to beat the Eagles by to jump to third.
To jump to third. So you'd
it's an enticing carrot given how Sydney's obviously decimated.
Yeah. Oh, you're going for a big time.
Big difference between Sydney in second and Fremantle in first.
Yep.
Yeah. Great point, Steve, and well done to you. And Laura, all I'm saying is it's just, and you said it, and I remember teams that have rushed home really late and missed the 8, and people said, only if they had have got in, etc. But it's such a fine line they're walking there. You only have to lose once now when you're 7, 8, 9, 10, you're out. And that's the crux of the matter. Whereas people inside the 4 obviously get 2 chances, and obviously there's a second chance for some teams in the 6. So, yeah.
It is interesting, though, because we previously would talk about top 4, top 8.
Yeah.
Now we've spoken about top 4 double chance, top 6 getting the week off, and then 7 to 10 in the wildcard round.
I reckon I've been sucked in over the years with an elimination final team that wins. And then they win the semi-final, right? And they're on a roll. They win the semi. And then they go through to the prelim and you're going, I think they can win. And you're sort of discounting the team that's been top 4 all year, goes through to the prelim. They normally get whacked, don't they, in that third game in a row?
I think we should be measured too when it comes to the Swans, because everybody thinks, if Hawthorn can't win by 100 points today, Laura, it means Brisbane go there, and everybody expects that Brisbane will take them out in that first qualifying final up there. But does it mean that they can't bounce back, or do we just write them off completely? I mean, they've still got Goulden, they've still got Mills, they've still got
I think we'll know
some
more
players
after today's game.
Yeah,
Brad.
well, it's got to be
It's North Melbourne, so I don't know.
charged one.
Yeah.
But you'll see how they're looking, won't you, emotionally, and how
It's
how
a good
they
opportunity for North. I know it doesn't mean much in the scope of the finals, but it's a good opportunity for them.
You're right, though, Brad. I mean, they've still got talent. They've still got Goulden coming.
I know, but what's the emotional toll, and can they galvanise and
Sometimes it works the other way, though,
can the emotional toll work that way, that you're the rest of that playing group going, well, stick it up these 5 blokes who have demolished our season, and they're selfish.
I'm sure that's how they'll be looking.
Dare I say it, but it's a team game and not an individual game. But the late, great Shane Keith Warren was the perfect example. I mean, how many trials and tribulations do they have going on and off the park, Laura? It's their sanctuary. That's where they can go out. They don't have to look at their phones every 2 minutes. Or someone else wants to know what's going. They can go out and do what they do, and that is playing football. So I'm expecting today the Swans to go out there, albeit against North Melbourne, and they'll hopefully enjoy themselves, and get out there and just escape everything and everyone and do what they're paid to do, and that is to be a professional footballer.
We'll delve a little bit deeper. Obviously, it has been the story of the week, and we will get to that after 2 o'clock this afternoon. Plenty to discuss in the world of footy before that, though. G'day, Steve. Steve's dropped out. Hi, Rosie.
Hi there. Just reminding Richo that I think he referenced a naked lap of honour depending on Carlton's result at the end of the
I
season.
remember this.
Gee, I did. You're right, Rosie.
That's correct, Rosie.
What
Was
did
it
I
grand
say?
final or Damo? Can we go back? Was it grand final or premiership that Carlton had to do for a Richo
I hope it wasn't
nudie run?
I hope it wasn't win a final.
No.
I think I'm in a bit of.
Don't worry about the skylight in the shower.
Oh,
Richo's
no.
just going to.
I'm not sure whether to thank Rosie or not for reminding us.
I'd prefer if it was. I hope it is the grand final. At least it'll be a bit warmer then, anyway.
It was grand final, so not even the flag, Matthew.
Jeez, I'm amazed that none of us have remembered that.
They get to the grand final.
Right.
There's
So what would I do it before the game then? As a bit of pre-game?
I don't know if it's the pre-game entertainment people are after.
Well, what about a bit of nude twister in Lygon Street?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Adds
On
another
my
element
own.
to the parade.
Okay, Rosie, I did say it.
Well done,
And
Rosie.
I guess I'll have to stick to it.
Let's just try and find what you said first. Let's
All
not be
right.
too hasty.
Yeah, no.
Let me hang on. I'll clarify that. If I said final, make a final, I think I'll have to.
Put out.
I'll have to just pull out of it. I don't think I can do it. But if it's a grand final, I'll still do it.
If you said final, there's still maybe a speedo or something. You still got to do a run. You're not getting no. You
No,
make
you
a
are.
call.
I'll have a think about it
No, you
during the
won't.
show.
No, it's happening.
We will get the tape and we will get the definitive audio. Rosie, thank you. Hi, Marty.
Yeah, how are you? I don't have a runner in the race, right? But I just feel that this final 10 wildcard round has been a really unfair situation for Melbourne, who have had a great season, 15 wins, 3 wins clear of 9th and 10th, and here they are put in this situation where they're now fighting for a spot in the 8.
Yep.
And obviously that Essendon gather round loss has cost them a spot in the top 6, but they've had a much better season than teams that are now beating teams that are resting players and all that sort of thing. I just think it's really unfair on Melbourne. I saw them beat Freo a couple of weeks ago, and I just reckon they deserve to not be put in this situation. So, but just 23 rounds of consistency.
Yep,
Yeah,
no, great.
I admit I feel like Melbourne are a bit stiff, aren't they, to drop down to that position. But, yeah, I mean, they would have been in an elimination final anyway next week.
Somehow the
wouldn't
Crows being in the Sixers really surprised me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did they get up there?
Well, exactly. Well, I think most people, we were tipping with our hearts yesterday. Most people were suggesting that Melbourne probably beats the Bulldogs yesterday, and that means that Adelaide would have finished 7th, and then all would have been good with the world. But that's the way it is. It is what it is. But I'm with.
But even if
Caller, I
they
think
finished 5th or 6th in the old system, they're still in a cutthroat game this week, and it's a cutthroat. It's just that you've got to win 2 elimination finals now.
Yeah, but you don't run the risk of being beaten by the team that finished 10th.
Yeah, true.
And 3 games adrift.
Yeah.
That's the caller's point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Had they've won yesterday, they'd have their destiny in their own hands. It made up to round 24 count.
Well, as I say, life's about, keep saying life's about timing, and Laura's outlined exactly what Carlton have done recently. I mean, the Bulldogs are no different. You know, if you look back, and admittedly they had a lot of them early, including Brisbane and Adelaide, who weren't wound up at that stage. They out of the top 10, current top 10, and it's finished, they've played 15 times against those top 10. So that's a
tough fixture.
Tough fixture.
133 693. Phil, good morning.
G'day, boys. Look, my wife's got a really good spin on this extra round of football, and I reckon she's 100% right. I didn't like it at first, but just hear me out. We have a fixture now rather than a draw. So depending on how you turn up in the fixture, you could finish 6th or 7th because you've played all the tough teams twice. Once, I beg your pardon, and you could finish 9th or 10th because you've played them all twice. And by having this extra round where these 4 sides play off, it almost tries to even up the fact that we do have a fixture rather than a draw. And I think it's a really good thing for that reason.
Yeah, well, I think you go back, Steve, to the fact that Laura had spurred up into 6, 6 and 6. And some of those teams that are hurtling home, Melbourne, who, for instance, were in the bottom 6 or so, was Carlton. So, and Collingwood were just adrift, I think, too. So
explain Geelong's fixture.
Again, well, there's always anomalies, but I'm just saying they're supposed to be, up in
Geelong
the top 6.
finished the year with Essendon, North Melbourne and Richmond.
Yes.
Yep.
The team that played in the grand final last year.
Yeah. I know there's
How
anomalies.
does that line up?
I know. Well, there's a lot of anomalies when it comes to Geelong.
Yeah.
But
True.
but all I'm saying is it supposedly works out 6, 6 and 6, and the bottom 6 play each other twice. And if you look down at the bottom end of the ladder, Richmond, West Coast, North, Essendon, they've all played each other twice.
Phil, appreciate the call. More of your calls right after this one.